On 11th February 1990, Nelson Mandela is released from Victor Verster prison after having spent 27 years in captivity. 4 years later, Mandela is elected the first black president of South Africa. His presidency faces enormous challenges in the post-apartheid area, including rampant poverty and crime, and Mandela is particularly concerned about racial divisions between black and white South Africans, which could lead to violence. This ill will which both groups hold towards each other seen even in his own security details, where relations between the established white officers who had guarded Mandela's predecessors and the black ANC addition through the security details are frosty and marked by mutual distrust. While tending a game between the Springboks, the country's rugby union team, and England, Mandela recognized that some black people in the stadium are cheering for England and not their own country, as the mostly white Springboks represent the prejudices and appeared in their mind. He did the same while imprisoned on Robben Islands. Knowing that South Africa is set to host the 1995 Rugby World Cup in 1 year's time, Mandela persuades the meeting of the newly black-dominated South African Sport Committee to support the Springboks. He then meets with the captain of Springboks rugby team, Francois Pienaar, and implies that Springboks' victory in the World Cup will unite and inspire the nation. Mandela also ensures the Francois a British poem, Invictus, that had inspired him during his time in prison. Francois and his teammate train many South Africans, both black and white, doubt their rugby will unite a nation torn apart by nearly 50 years of racial tensions. As for many black people, especially the racials, the Springbok symbolism white supremacy. Both Mandela and Pienaar, however, stand firmly behind their theory that the game can successfully unite the South African country. Things began to change as the players interact with the fans and began a friendship with them. During the opening game, support for the Springboks begins to grow among the black population. By the second game, the whole country comes together to support the Springboks and Mandela efforts. Mandela's security team also grows closer as the racially diverse officers come to respect their comrades' professionalism and dedication. As Mandela watches the Springbok defeat one of the arch rivals, Australia, the defending champions and known as the Wallabies in their opening match, they then continue to defy all expectations, and as Mandela conducts trade negotiations in Taiwan, defeats France in heavy rain to advance to the final against their other arch rival, New Zealand, known as the All Blacks. New Zealand and South Africa were universally regarded as the two greatest rugby nations, with the Springboks then the only side to have winning record 2019-2 against the All Blacks since their first meeting in 1921. Meanwhile, one day during the tournament, the Springboks team visited the Robben Island where Mandela spent the first 18 of his 27 years in the jail. Their Pienaar is inspired by Mandela's will and the idea of cell mystery in the Invictus. Francois mentioned his amazement that Mandela could spend 30 years in tiny cell and come out ready to forgive the people who put him there. Supported by a large home crowd of racists at Ellis Park Stadium at Johannesburg, Pienaar for the finals. Mandela's security detail receives a scare when just before the match, a South African Airways Boeing 747-200 jetliner flies in low over the stadium. However, it is not an assassination attempt but a demonstration of patriotism with the message "Good luck, Bokeh," with the Springboks African's nickname painted on the undersides of the plane's wings. Mandela also famously arrives onto the field before the match wearing a Springbok cap and replica of Pienaar's number 6 jersey. The Springbok complete their run by beating the All Blacks 15-12 in extra time thanks to a drop goal from fly-half Joel Stransky. Mandela and Pienaar meet on the field together to celebrate the improbable and unexpected victory, and Mandela hands Pienaar the William Webb's Ellis Cup as the Springboks are now indeed Rugby Union's world champions. Mandela's car then drives away in the traffic-jammed streets, leaving the stadium. He insists that there is no hurry as his security team wanted to change the route due to the cheering crowd. And as Mandela watches South Africans celebrate together in the street from his car, his voice is heard reciting Invictus again.